All right, listen up because this is absolutely massive. We just got confirmation that 10 states are rolling out the biggest Social Security increases we've seen in over a decade. And if you're receiving SSA, SSI, or SSDI benefits, this could mean hundreds of extra dollars in your pocket every single month. I'm talking real money that could change your daily life. So stay with me because I'm breaking down exactly which states are doing this, why it's happening right now, and most importantly, whether you qualify and how to claim it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tony from Retirees Benefits, and I help everyday Americans navigate the confusing world of Social Security benefits, retirement planning, and financial security. I've been covering Social Security updates for years, working with thousands of people who rely on these benefits to survive and thrive. Today, we're talking about something that's going to affect millions of people across the country. This isn't just another update. This is potentially life-changing information. So, let's dive right in and make sure you understand everything you need to know. Now, here's what's happening and why everyone is talking about it. According to recent announcements from multiple state governments and Social Security Administration updates, 10 states have confirmed they're implementing additional state-level supplements on top of the federal COLA adjustment for 2025. We're talking about states like California, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Delaware, and Michigan. The headlines are coming in hot right now. Articles are saying things like historic state supplements could add up to $400 monthly, and 10 states step up where federal government falls short. Major news outlets, financial publications, and advocacy groups are all covering this story because it's that significant. And honestly, it's about time. Because while the federal COLA increase for 2025 was around 2.5%, these states realize that's just not cutting it with the way prices are still climbing in grocery stores, at gas stations, and especially with rent and housing costs. This represents the largest coordinated state-level effort to boost Social Security payments that we've seen since the recession era. And what makes this even more important is that it's happening right now in 2025 when people are still recovering from years of high inflation and economic uncertainty. So, let me ask you this. Do you think these state supplements are enough, or should every state in the country be doing this? Should this be a federal mandate instead of leaving it up to individual states? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I really want to hear from you. Are you in one of these 10 states? Are you frustrated that your state isn't on this list? Let us know what you're thinking and what your experience has been with making ends meet on Social Security. All right, so here's what's actually happening and why this matters so much to your bottom line. The federal government sets a baseline COLA that's cost of living adjustment every year based on inflation measurements for 2025. That increase was modest at around 2.5%. But certain states have decided to add their own money on top of that federal amount to help residents who rely on Social Security actually keep up with their bills and maintain a decent quality of life. Now, this doesn't apply to everyone automatically, and that's a really important point. Each state has different eligibility requirements, different application processes, and different payment structures. Some are targeting SSI recipients specifically. Those are people who get supplemental security income because they have limited income and resources. Other states are expanding it to include SSDI recipients. That's Social Security Disability Insurance for people who've worked and paid into the system. And some states are even including standard Social Security retirement beneficiaries in certain categories. The amounts vary significantly too. California, for example, is adding around $200 to $400 extra per month depending on your living situation and your specific county. New York is rolling out tiered increases based on county cost of living, recognizing that living in Manhattan is very different from living in rural areas. Pennsylvania is focusing particularly on seniors over 75. New Jersey is implementing a sliding scale based on total income. Every state is doing it a little differently, but the goal is the same: help people afford rent, groceries, medications, and utilities without having to choose between them. What's really important to understand is that these supplements are in addition to your regular Social Security payment. So, if you're currently receiving, let's say, $1,500 a month in Social Security, and your state adds a $300 supplement, you're now looking at $1,800 a month. That extra $300 can be the difference between struggling and managing, between skipping meals and eating properly, between affording your prescriptions and going without. Now, of course, not everyone agrees this is the right move, and I think it's important we look at both sides of this debate. On one side, advocates and seniors' rights groups are saying this is an absolute lifeline. They argue that Social Security recipients have been squeezed for years by economic forces beyond their control. Rent is up significantly in most areas. Groceries cost more. Healthcare costs are skyrocketing, especially for prescription medications that people depend on to stay alive and healthy. And a 2.5% federal COLA just doesn't match reality for most people living on fixed incomes. These state supplements are bridging that gap and preventing vulnerable populations from falling into poverty. They also point out that Social Security was never meant to be a poverty-level income. It was designed to help people maintain dignity and independence in retirement or during disability. When inflation outpaces COLA adjustments year after year, that promise gets broken. State supplements are one way to honor that original promise. But on the other side, critics are raising legitimate concerns about state budgets and long-term sustainability. They're asking where this money is coming from. Is it new taxes, redirected funds from other programs, or temporary allocations that might disappear in future budget cycles? Some worry that states offering generous supplements might attract an influx of retirees and disabled individuals from other states, which could strain resources even further. Others argue that this should be a federal responsibility, not a state-by-state patchwork system that creates inequality between Americans based solely on where they happen to live. So it's a real debate with valid points on both sides. But here's my take. Something is better than nothing, especially when people are hurting right now. If your state is stepping up, take advantage of it. We can debate policy all day long, but at the end of the day, people need help now. They need to eat now. They need their medications now. All right. If you're finding this information valuable and you want to stay ahead of every Social Security update, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. I post videos like this every single week covering Social Security news, benefit changes, Medicare updates, and financial tips that actually matter to real people. And if you want even faster updates sent directly to your email before I even post them on YouTube, check the link in the description to join my free update list. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next because there are more changes on the horizon. Now, let's talk about why this is happening right now and what it has to do with the broader economic picture. Even though inflation has cooled significantly compared to 2022 and 2023, when we saw inflation rates hitting 7 or 8%, the damage is already done. Prices are still way higher than they were just a few years ago. A dozen eggs that cost $2 in 2020 might cost $4 or $5 today. Rent that was $1,200 is now $1,800 or more in many areas. And healthcare costs continue rising faster than general inflation. So when the federal COLA only bumps benefits by 2.5%, that might cover a fraction of the actual increase in living costs that people are experiencing day to day. That's why these states are stepping in. They're looking at their local cost of living, especially in expensive metro areas, and realizing their residents are struggling even with federal benefits. There's also talk about potential federal reforms coming in late 2025 or 2026. Some lawmakers are pushing for changes to how COLA is calculated to better reflect real-world expenses, especially for seniors who spend disproportionately more on healthcare and housing. The current COLA calculation uses the CPIW, which is based on urban wage earners, not retirees. Many advocates want to switch to the CPIE, which specifically tracks senior spending patterns. Others are advocating for across-the-board increases to SSI and SSDI base amounts. There's legislation being proposed and advocacy campaigns ramping up. Nothing is confirmed yet, but momentum is building, and I'll keep you updated as soon as anything becomes official, because these potential changes could mean even more money beyond what these states are already doing. All right, let's recap everything we covered today so you have complete clarity. 10 states, California, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Delaware, and Michigan, have confirmed they're rolling out the biggest state-level Social Security supplements we've seen in a decade. These supplements are on top of the federal COLA and could mean an extra $200 to $400 per month, depending on where you live. Eligibility varies by state. Some are targeting SSI recipients. Others include SSDI and retirement beneficiaries. The debate is real. Some say it's a necessary lifeline. Others worry about budget impacts. But either way, if you're in one of these states, you need to look into this. So, here's my second question for you. What's the biggest challenge you're facing right now with your Social Security benefits? Is it understanding the system? Is it making ends meet? Let me know in the comments because your feedback helps me create content that actually serves you. All right, everyone. That's it for today's update. I hope this gave you clarity on what's happening and what it means for you. If you found this helpful, hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already and check out my other videos on Social Security, Medicare, and retirement planning. Coming up next, I'm going to break down the top 5 mistakes people make when filing for Social Security that cost them thousands of dollars. You're not going to want to miss that. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next.